Meteorologist Matt Standridge. Hope you guys had a good weekend. It was a busy weekend for the National Weather Service and, of course, a really busy weekend for first responders and for our neighbors, our friends, and our loved ones in Northeast Arkansas. We wanted to give you an update so far from the weekend. What has the National Weather Service determined? Several tornadoes across not only Arkansas, but Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, and even into Illinois, Indiana, and even one in Mississippi, too. So National Weather Service has a lot to work to do. They had 2 days this weekend so far. At least we had a sunshine. But we're going to talk about what has been confirmed so far and what is yet to be confirmed for this upcoming week. A lot of work still underway. But before we get to all the tornadoes in Arkansas so far from this weekend, and really in from Friday, here's what we know across the country so far. 34 tornadoes have been reported across the central United States. Pretty big outbreak. I believe we had over 140 tornado warnings across the central United States. That's, I think, about the third amount of tornado warnings we've had in a winter season since the 80s, so it's a lot. Officially in Monette and Leachville, Arkansas, that tornado, at least an EF3. National Weather Service crews actually coming in from Memphis are still working on that tornado path. It's a long one. That's the one that could possibly be over 200 miles long. Now, the Memphis National Weather Service won't do the whole length. More National Weather Service offices heading in all the way to Kentucky will continue those surveys as well. But at least we know EF3, 1 damage reported in Monette and Leachville. Now, specifically for those two towns, we have EF3s, but there could be some instances where that tornado was weaker outside of those towns. Still the same tornado track, but at least an EF3 in those two cities. Also across Arkansas, the National Weather Service in Little Rock officially reported 3 tornadoes. Those were confirmed today: EF1 in Beataville, EF1 in Diaz, and an EF2 in Augusta and Overcup. Still have some more work to do. The National Weather Service will be tackling those the next couple of days. I think we've got more sunshine tomorrow. That's good. But then as we head into the rest of the week, we'll have more rain chances. Of course, your 5 News at 10 has been kicked back to at 11, so you can join us right at 11 here on Channel 5. We'll give you some of the latest information on the forecast ahead. Here's the northeast corner of Arkansas. Here's where we had all our tornado reports. Just across the whole natural state, though, we had several hail reports and wind reports. But tornado reports centralized to the northeast. You can see Jonesboro right here in the center of the map. With the red lines show you tornado tracks that have been worked on so far. Of course, the long one, that's also the one that continues off towards Kentucky and to Tennessee and Missouri too. Reported for Leachville and Monette, EF3, but it looks like probably back towards the south and west, just about an EF1, EF2 when the tornado was just starting to get going, just past to the southeast side of Jonesboro, and then headed into the kind of the little appendage that we have of southern Missouri before it tracked into Tennessee. Also, another long track tornado, not quite to the 200 plus possibly with the other one, but still a long track tornado that went into Tennessee. Crews are still working on this storm. They've only done the Tennessee portion of this line, and so far they have reports of EF3 damage so far in Tennessee. Still not sure what the damage is in northeast Arkansas with this line, so that one is still to be determined. Here's a little bit closer look at the Monette tornado. EF3 in Monette, and then farther towards the north and east in Leachville, also an EF3. And then you can see that other tornado just north and west of Osceola. That one possibly could be up to an EF3 too as it crossed the Mississippi River and into Tennessee. A couple more tornado reports. These are from the Little Rock office for the National Weather Service. Beataville, EF1. This was a short-lived tornado. And then also back towards the south and west from about Augusta to Overcup, Arkansas. That was an EF2. That one was just a little bit longer. But then we also had some more tornado reports towards the north and west. These have not been surveyed yet. You see what the ones with the red line show you the ones that have been so far worked on by the National Weather Service. Then back towards the north and west, this is right over Diaz, and then also towards the Campbell Station area, EF1. That was also confirmed earlier today. So a lot of work still left to do with a couple more of these tornadoes in northeast Arkansas. And of course, the long track tornado still has a lot of work. Just kind of preliminary data from the National Weather Service. This is what they issued so far. Eventually, all this data with all the different reports will be all publicly available. This was actually on their Twitter page. You can see that. It's just at NWS Memphis. You can find that on your own Twitter account as well. So this data will continue to be posted. But EF3 damage, like you can see here, was found in Monette and Leachville. And of course, more reports are to be worked on. The blue line shows you the width of where the National Weather Service is looking. So Pretty big stretch, right? This is a big tornado. So they'll continue to work on this. The triangles that you see on the map too show you different EF damage reports. So we've had that EF damage, once you get that yellow and orange color, that shows you that EF3 damage. And then once you go down towards the blue and kind of green colors, that shows you more to EF1 and EF2. So it looks like just on the southern side of Jonesboro, more EF1, EF2 damage. And then once it just left the Jonesboro area and headed north and east towards Monette, where we had the fatality at the nursing home, that's when it became an EF3. But a lot more work has to be done with more of that tornado track. So a lot of surveying will continue this week. Also, when you look back towards the east, towards Kentucky, it looks like the National Weather Service crew, I believe it's from Paducah, Kentucky, will be surveying the storm that actually hit Mayfield tomorrow. A lot of National Weather Services have been working on the whole track itself, but they'll probably get an official rating, an EF1 to EF5, for Mayfield. That's the one that you've heard on the national news, the one the town's completely, utterly destroyed. That damage report will probably come in tomorrow. Of course, we'll give you guys that information as well when it is made publicly available. And then other sections of that same tornado track will go all the way through Friday. It's a lot of mileage to cover, so we'll continue to keep you up to date. It was a big outbreak here in northwest Arkansas. In the River Valley, things were a lot quieter, so we're really thankful from past Friday. We did have that circulation coming right over from about Lincoln, south side of Prairie Grove, and then right over Greenland, and then it puttered out as it headed towards the east, and there was just a good amount of rain and some gusty winds. And in the River Valley, we had some big gusty winds, some severe wind reports we had throughout the River Valley, but no tornadoes touched down so far as we know in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. But we'll give you more reports as the National Weather Service continues their work, not only in Arkansas, but all the way east into Kentucky.